another Friday, another day for Shit Cup. As I, Clable, and the one and only KamikazeGames welcome you to Watkins Glen International for the aggressive goes around at the Glen. Heading into today, many drivers are closing in on taking the Shit Cup points lead, and one of those drivers is your Season 3 Shitona 500 champion, Young Simba. Simba rolls off from 21st on the inside line and looks to avoid the chaos and close in closer to win Nerginton and take the Shit Cup points lead.
Yes, indeed. And next up, I want to take a look at Colton Thompson quick. He's starting pretty good today. Not only did he win the Shitona 500 last season, but he also took the win at Talladega a few weeks ago. So we're going to see if this multi-time winner at play tracks can't prove that he's not a one-trick pony and take a road course win today.
And lastly, Jacking Off rolls off from the pole position here today. Every single winner at Watkins Glen here in Shit Cup has rolled off from the pole position. Can Jacking Off continue the trend, or will this, just like Larry's trans, spark doom for him? We shall see as we go trackside for the command. And now, to give the command for today's aggressive goes around at the Glen. You love him. He loves to scream. He loves to do a lot of the NASCAR community. It's KamikazeGames.
Drivers! Start your engines!
Thank you, KamikazeGames, for that amazing command, and we'd like to thank the Agent Ada Bagel Foundation once again for bringing you the starting grid on the left side of the screen. I'm already fucking it, but I gotta ask you, KamikazeGames, is the field gonna fuck it on lap 1 like they always have?
Without a doubt, no doubt in my mind, they are absolutely going to fuck it in this first turn.
Jacking Off, he's coming off the final turn. He's next to Vic Muzzin. Muzzin trying to get their first win of the season. They come down the front straightaway. Jacking Off, Vic Muzzin gonna hit the jump, trying to make it over as the green flag is away going to the turn 1. A bunch of the field stacking up, but they did not fuck it like they always have. Going into turn 1, Jacking Off clears Vic Muzzin as they go into turn 1 with Griffin to the inside of Tony Steve.
There's still plenty of time for them to fuck it. Don't you worry about that. Over the hill they go.
And Jacking Off gets collected. He's nearly up and over as Colton Thompson moves into the lead. Nerginton moves into second. The field cluttering up behind them. Kamikaze.
It is absolutely unbelievable. What a moment for Colton Thompson to take control of this race early.
And he's got the Season 3 Cup. He's leading the point stands. I'm already fucking it. Ezra Bass, remember he won earlier this season at Fuji. Can he try and get another win here in Shit Cup? Vic Muzzin into 4th. Saul Goodman, your top 5.
Some big names up here. Back in the 6th place is that number 30 of Stephen Clift, trying to hang on out ahead of the 13 of Devlin Tavarius. They're over the hill again one more time. Let's see who survives.
Thompson on the big jump. Watch Bass here trying to close in the gap on lap 1. He's going to go to the left side, but Nerginton's going to make it 3 for the lead.
3 wide, and they're stacking up behind them. Everyone doing their best to slowly crawl over the hill.
And there's Devlin Tavares, nearly 4 wide going into the corner here. Griffin has to slow down to make the corner as off the final turn. Win Nerginton, your season points leader, is going to lead lap 1 here at the Glen as Ezra Bass trying to close in on Colton Thompson.
Why he's the points leader. He's been able to capitalize on others' mistakes all year long, and now he's out in front one more time.
And Thompson, he's just trying to hold it over on Ezra Bass. There's a little bit of contact there. Look at Saul Goodman. He's going to close in the gap as they come off of turn 1 in the big jump there. Muzzin trying to close in as well. A little bit slow off that corner. As we continue to scroll through the field, there's Jacking Off. Remember, we mentioned at the pre-race show that the winner has started from the pole every single race here at Watkins Glen. Shit is going to have to hit the fan for that to stay the same as Bass tries to go to the inside of Thompson. Into the bus, I don't know what corner this is. What corner is this?
I believe they call this the kink nowadays.
And I think they're coming around the bus stop.
And acceptance and whatever.
I mean, they call it a bunch of things. I mean, I'm pretty kinky. I think you're pretty kinky, Kamikaze, as they come Off another jump. Bass into second. He's able to get by Thompson.
Yes, sir. Lots of movement through this top 5 early on.
As, oh, little bit of contact. Saul Goodman is in the guardrail. Lot of problems here. It is, oh my, Xander Jeffries upside down.
Goodness gracious. Better call Saul, more like better call a tow truck.
Yeah, you better call one. As Ween Nerginton comes off the corner. He's going to lead another lap here, lap 2. Bass closing in, make that lap 3 now. Bunch of cars down the pit lane. There's Jeffrey. That fucker just flipped. As Nerginton maintains the lead, but Bass is not letting him get away here, Kamikaze.
Yeah, what a huge moment early on in this race to shake up the running order. Ween Nerginton is hanging on right now, though. Bass is closing. And we still got Colton Thompson there in third.
As, yeah, Colton Thompson in third. We go through the S's. Great camera angles here. We'd like to thank our crew. Sorry, we pulled a Fox there for a second. I was thinking the camera crew, but they already fucked it here. As Bass down the long straightaway, trying to gain as much time as he can. As there's Bender M in fourth. The start of the season, he was a part-timer, promoted to full-time. He's in fourth, and Stephen Clift, same story as Jackanoff trying to get to the inside of Clift.
Yeah, I saw that man die at Talladega, and they're side by side in the kinky corner. Jackanoff hanging on for now.
You know what, Jackanoff, I don't blame him for being a little kinky there with Stephen Clift. You know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. As you mentioned, Kamikaze, Bender M, I mean, we nearly saw him die on national television. Reminds me of a certain person who nearly died on national television earlier this week. And so glad to see he's okay. Same thing with the other guy. But look at Nerginton under threat from Bass for the lead as they come off the final turn here side by side.
Yeah, it's only beginning to heat up. Bass on the outside trying to take the lead away from the points leader.
And what a day would be for Ween Nerginton to extend that point lead. But look at Bass sending it into turn 1 and 2. Or turn 1. No, I think it's an oval. I don't know what the fuck.
Now, whichever turn that is, he licked the stamp and sent it. Here comes the 43 of Xander Jeffrey to try and mess this battle up, though.
Exactly, the lapper, he literally just flipped on our screens as they are side by side. Great racing, not wrestling, great racing as they go through the S's here. And Bass is going to clear Nerginton to take the top spot here on lap 4.
Power move through the S's by the Tool car. There ain't no Tool driving it, though.
I think he knew that the pieces fit because he watched them fall away. Mildewed and small dough ring. Unbelievable work here by Ezra Bass. Nerginton, I don't know if he's going to be able to keep up. He's going to try and keep up here as they go into the big jump here. And, oh, a little bit of contact on the off the corner. Off the jump. I'm pulling a Rick Allen. And Bass through the corner. As he's going to continue to pull away here from Ween Nerginton. Xander Jeffrey, he is not in third. That is Colton Thompson. And Kamikaze, before we started here today, you told me you had a lot of good feelings about Colton Thompson. What's going through your mind right now?
What's going through Thompson's mind now is race strategy as everything goes on here. All right, he needs to keep a clear head and wait for the two in front of him to make a mistake, or for these lap cars to maybe get in their way. He's just got to survive, though. These jumps are deadly.
And you know what? There may be lap traffic. There's Saul Goodman. Remember, he got stuck on that guardrail. He is just in front of the leaders, though, as he is not pulling away a lot. The leaders are gaining on him a little bit, but let me ask you, Kamikaze, these leaders are getting quite a bit of damage by hitting these jumps. Do you think they go down the pit lane? We saw it last season.
Anything is possible in the ShitCup Series. That's what I've learned so far, and I'm not going to count any of my chickens until they hatch.
Absolutely, as Nerginton, he is losing ground to Ezra Bass. Ezra Bass, oh, Nerginton, never mind, closing in on the jump. And shit could hit the fan if he lands on him. But, oh, Jeffrey lands on Nerginton!
Unbelievable. The commentator's curse strikes Ween Nerginton. Terrible moment for the points leader.
I am deeply sorry, Mr. Nerginton, as he is not going to go down the pit lane, thankfully. He is still going to be okay. Still maintains the second spot, but I think the win may be out of the books here for Ween Nerginton, as Ezra Bass closing in on another Shit Cup trophy. He's got 4 more laps to do it.
What a great race out of Bass, though. I mean, that car looks like it's been from hell and back. But still, keeps it going in the right direction, has a ton of speed, just needs to hold on a few more laps.
As we're going to go through the field just a tiny little bit as Bass, I mean, his lead is astronomical. He's got Ween Nerginton in that second position with Colton Thompson in third. Benderham, he's trying to get by the lapper of Xander Jeffrey with P5. Jacking off. He started on the pole. He needed a good point stay here today. He's gonna get a good point stay. As I'm fucking in on the commentary here, but he is not gonna go to victory lane. Justin Perez, he is a lap down. Stephen Clift, he's trying to get to jacking off, trying to get another position here. And there's Anthony Tony Steve III. We'd like to wish him a happy birthday. It was his birthday earlier this week. Happy birthday to the one and only 9-year-old or whatever age he is Shit Cup driver. There's Piper Gernharder. Gernharder, he's moving up in the standings. Then we got Recky Spinhouse Jr., same team as Piper Gernharder. And then there's the conspirator, Rafahen. Kamikaze, I hate Rafahen. What do you think about Rafahen?
I mean, what isn't there that you could say at this point? Like, what an absolute child hater, terrorist.
Yeah.
He's just absolutely
believes that
positive.
Shit Cup is rigged. Can you believe this guy?
That is absolutely ridiculous.
Exactly.
I can't believe this.
Exactly.
He needs to be canceled.
Yeah, he should be canceled. He absolutely should be canceled. And there's Biggest Diggest, the fan favorite. He's just chilling. I mean, that car is absolutely destroyed. As Ezra Bass.
They're driving good.
Oh, no!
Oh.
Your favorite driver! On the pit lane. A lot of damage there for Zorgan 194, the part-timer.
That's tragic.
Oh!
I mean, he came out all this way from his home planet just to have to go down pit road. That is unbelievable.
It's Jover. It is no longer Skibbity, let me tell you. As Ezra Bass, he's got 3 more laps to coaster home to go to victory lane here. KG, I'd like to apologize. I thought we'd have a more exciting race here today, but you know what? Shit just happens.
Shit indeed just does happen sometimes. But when you've got a field of drivers with this much talent, except for Dave Wilson, that's just what happens sometimes. That's just what happens sometimes. You get a good barn burner of a race. Other times, it's an easy win.
It sounded like someone hit you for making that comment against Wilson. I mean, is Wilson is he trying to kill you?
There's very possible that there was a hit put out on me. I'm going to have to check my sloped roofs in the vicinity, but for now, we're just going to try and finish this race as best we can.
Absolutely. We had to get some great protection for you here today. I'd like to thank you for what you have done for this country. As Ezra Bass, he's going to take 2 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. Ween Nerginton, the points leader, it's going to help him. It's going to help him a lot, substantially. That's the word I was trying to think of. As he's probably going to move a big gap in front of Simba. Where is Simba? Simba is all the way back here in front of Kumaru Yukihara. Remember last week's winner? Kumaru Yukihara having a really decent run here today. There's my favorite Notepad. Now he's right behind Jonathan Denmark on the racetrack. There's AJ Walker, Chuck Snead. Now, Chuck Snead, his cousin, Ace Moneymaker, won the first ever Watkins Glen race, but not really a fantastic run here for Snead, not living up to the name of Ace Moneymaker, his cousin, as Vic Muzzin down the pit road.
A shame for the front row starter, Vic Muzzin.
Absolute travesty. I mean, you'd think at a track like this where not a lot happens, the front row starters would just easily go to victory lane, but Ezra Bass is not going to let that happen here today. Remember, jacking off had the problems on the first lap. As Ezra Bass, he's got 1 more time to go as he hits the jumps 1 more time. And as long as he does not come down the pit lane, he has got this thing in the bag. Bender M in the grass. He's trying to close in on Colton Thompson. Could be the battle for second. Thompson and Bender M are closing in on Nerginton just a little tiny bit, but not the same could be said for Ezra Bass, as Ezra Bass in the Tool Colors is going to take the white flag here. And the aggressive goes around at the Glen. It's been the story that we've been following all season. Ezra Bass his work to get to the front with Low Tier Motorsports, new team with Romelia Griffin themselves trying to get a good run as well. And Bass won earlier this season at the other road course, Fuji. The first Shit Cup race back after the long break. He was able to go to victory lane there. As Nerginton continues to pull away, Ezra Bass down the back straightaway for the final time here, Kamikaze.
Yeah, with a race like this, you gotta imagine that Ezra Bass is gonna need to learn to swim underneath all of the trophies that they're collecting.
He might be living vicariously as well as he goes through the kink. Feeling a little kinky. He's gonna go through the stop. We don't know these turn names. We're gonna get roasted in the comments for it. As he's gonna go take the jumps one last time. Nerginton holding on to second. Looks like M and Thompson will not be able to close in. Bass going to take the jump for one last time here. As we're going to keep an eye on Nerginton, see if he can hold on as Bass gets through the jump fine. Same cannot be said for Nerginton. Thompson closing in.
This battle for second isn't over yet.
It's not over. It's not Jover just yet as they go side by side. One more turn to go as Ezra Bass rounds the final turn. Ezra Bass wins the third edition of the Aggressive Goes Around at the Glen as the battle is for second here. Nerginton, Thompson side by side. Give it to Nerginton.
An exceptional battle at the end of this race. Gotta be said. Exceptional battle between those two.
Makes me proud to be an American, let me tell you. As Bender M fucks it off the jump after the checkered flag. Big play day. He does not win it. As jacking off, he's going to round up this day with a top 5 finish. Good run for jacking off. Got some more cars hitting the start-finish line here. Saul Goodman, first car not to be a lap down. But Ezra Bass in the Tool Colors for the second time this season goes to victory lane in Shit Cup. You do, in fact, love to see it. Ezra Bass for Low Tier Motorsports wins! The Aggressive Goes Around at the Glen in the Dodge Colors, the Tool Colors. Ezra Bass goes back to victory lane in Shit Cup. Ezra Bass wins the Aggressive Goes Around at the Glen here at Watkins Glen International over Ween Nerginton. Ween Nerginton definitely going to extend that point lead. Colton Thompson, your Season 2 Shitona 500 champion. He finishes third with Bender M and jacking off rounding out your top 5. With Stephen Cliff, the rookie, Piper Gernharder, Anthony Tony Steve III, Recky Spinhouse Jr., and the conspirator Rathahan rounding out your top 10.
That's right, and we got Biggest Diggest coming in at the 11th spot alongside Chuck Sneed in 12th. Noah Padnod, your favorite, Caleb, is coming in 13th. Great position for him. As well as Romelia Griffin in 14th. And young Simba, not a great run. Started deep in the field, only got up to 15th. That's going to hurt him in points. Don't forget about AJ Walker in 16th. Jonathan Denmark, Kumaru Yukihara, Droopy Wiener, and Gustavo Freen rounding out the top 20.
Then you got Masturbation. He's in 21st with Joey Sharkowski in 22nd. You got Shea Midez. He's in 23rd with Big Man in 24th. Then you got the part-timer of Fat Bitch for JTG O'Neill Racing. He finishes 25th with David Deeg and Dave Wilson. That guy stinks. He killed people out. You remember he killed fans at Talladega? You remember that, Kamikaze? He literally killed fans. It's just absolutely disgusting. He finishes 27th with Knob Shifter in 28th. Saul Goodman, he needed a tow truck. He's going to finish 29th. And Xander Jeffrey, he finishes one lap down in 30th. Dave Wilson came down the pit lane on the last lap. He was able to retire from his car, but was able to finish in 27th, and that is your top 30.
Yep, Raf Faslin is the one who's finishing 31st, also a lap down. Zorgan, 194, came down the pit lane, finishes 32nd. Not a great showing for him. Don't forget about Justin Perez, Devlin Zavarius, and Vic Muzzin, 35th. after starting on the front row, rounding out and winning last car, dabbing jingle snatch in 36. What a shame.
And now, here are your new Shit Cup point standings following today's race here at the Aggressor Goes Around at the Glen, with only 4 more races to go in the Shit Cup season, with Ween Nerginton still in the point lead. He's got 4 top 5s, 5 top 10s. This man is literally elite. But Simba trying to close in on his tail, unable to close anymore. They lose up to 57 points here today, falling back to maintaining that second position in the points with Noah Patnod in third. Ezra Bass, they jump up 7 spots into 4th, with Rafahin the Conspirator gaining a spot into that 5th position. Piper Gernharder is in 6th. Dave Wilson in 7th. He lost points alongside Xander Jeffrey in 8th. Chuck Snead in 9th. And then Kumar Yukihara entered today in 10th. Remains 10th in the standings after today's race at Watkins Glen.
Yep, and up 2 spots into 11th is Reggie Spinhouse Jr. for Agent Available Incorporated. Losing 5 spots, though, Joey Shirkowski in the 66 down to 12th. Then you got Anthony Tony Steve III in 13th. Rev Faslin down to 14th. Shea Mendez back to 15th. And Big Man didn't make any big moves, sits in the 16th spot still. But take a look at Colton Thompson, the absolute charge up the standings these past couple of weeks, up 9 spots in the 17th. Rounding out the top 20 points is Drew P. Wiener, Benderam, and David D. And
then in 21st, you got the fan favorite of Biggest Dickus for Hunter Racing, then Masturbation. He masturbated his way to staying in that position. He was pretty much edging, couldn't even get anywhere. He's still 22nd in the standings, with Jacking Off in 23rd, gaining 7 spots, a much-needed boost to Tony's Tropical Creamy Goo. Speaking of Tony's Tropical Creamy Goo, his team owner, AJ Walker, who took over from Anthony Tony Steve II after he died. AJ Walker, 24th in the standings, he gains 3 spots. Justin Perez, the Season 2 champion, not looking good, losing 6 spots. Then you got Romelia Griffin in 26th, Saul Goodman, a rookie, in 27th. Vic Muzzin, you mentioned, started on the front row, finishes in the back row here today. They're going to end their day 35th here today on the track, but lost 7 spots in the standings, down to 28th, with Knob Shifter in 29th, and Dabbit Jingle Snatch, who finished last car here today, 30th in the standings, losing 10 spots.
Down with the also-rans in 31st. Stephen Cliff had a good race, but still sits down in 30th. Jonathan Denmark, Gustavo Fring, and Devlin Tavarius at the back of the standings with only 4 races to go.
We will be back in 2 weeks' time for the Shays Shit Pills 500 Kamikaze Games. It's been a pleasure to have you here in the booth. Do you have any words for our viewers here today?
All I've got to say is Shit Cup racing is unmissable. You got to catch every single one of them. You don't want to miss anything. If I've learned anything from this race, is that anything, ladies and gentlemen, is possible with Shit Cup.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kamikaze. And before you go, I'd like to thank my Clable Cult members for supporting the channel. You can join the Clable Cult by clicking the join button down below and get access to stuff like behind the scenes, emojis in our live chats. You get a little cup roll as well. It also helps me continue to do Shit Cup each and every single week, and live streams and videos as well. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time for Pigs Creek. I didn't mention, we're at Pigs Creek Super Speedway for the Shay Shit Pills 500. It's going to be an amazing race. We'll see you all then. And as always, take it easy.